Hi, everybody. Welcome to this podcast, Who's in My Pew? This is a podcast that we do here at the parish St. Pius X in Loudonville, New York, Diocese of Albany. Today, we're going to talk about a beautiful, beautiful topic. Is a mission that we have in our parish. It's a mission in another different country. It's a very special mission to all of us. But before I start this beautiful conversation, I would like to give you thanks to all of you who watch or listen the previous podcasts. We appreciate all your comments and, all your advices and all, any kind of prayer that you are doing for us. We love you and keep watching and keep listening to us. Okay, today we have a very special guest. You are very important. A lot of people speaks very highly about you about this mission too. We have Johanna, of course, who always said, you have to do an interview to Jean Malone.
Yeah, Mary Malone.
This is me.
It's a tricky one.
All the time, making mistakes with names and
not making it easy.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's me and names. Every day when I'm doing the daily mass, before the mass, I have to sit down with Susan or whoever is the sacristan. Check how do you pronounce this last name or this name.
Well, I appreciate that. I tried to speak when I was in the Dominican, so I definitely have a new understanding.
That's very good. But tell us a little bit about you. Who are you? Introduce yourself.
Sure.
And,
Great.
We'll love
Thank
to hear
you.
more
Well,
about
thank you for the opportunity to be on your podcast. I'm also a big fan, and I think it's fantastic what we're doing in St. Pius and building this community of parishioners. So my name's Mary Malone McCarthy, and as I was saying, that the double first name we were talking about beforehand. And my husband Mike and I lived, actually, a funny story, we lived here 27 years ago. And when we first got married, and we're at St. Thomas, and we had a wonderful priest there named Father Walsh. We left the area, moved back 7 years ago, and we're blessed to end up now at St. Pius and back in the community again with Father Walsh.
I love St. Thomas, by the way.
Yes.
I was there as a deacon. They're so special to me.
Yeah, it was fantastic, and we just lucked out being back here. So we've been parishioners for 7 years, cool. And we have 3 children. Our son JP lives in Burlington, and he is 27. Our son Michael is just moved back from Jacksonville, Florida. He went to Providence College, cool. And he's 24. And our daughter Lizzie's going to be a senior at Providence College.
That's awesome.
And our family's just really proud and loves to be a part of the parish.
Okay, that's very good, very good, very good. We have a very special mission, St. Pius. We always focus on welcome, be engaged, keep the people connected to the church. And, you and other members of the team and Father Walsh, you came up with this beautiful idea to have a mission outside the U.S. Yeah. And that's very unusual in the parishes in our diocese, but we love it. Yeah. That's like a gift. We share the goodness of St. Pius with other people. Could you tell me a little bit about that mission we have here at St. Pius?
Yes, no, thank you. It was, I think, just a vision, and it's, I think, part of the values of the parish to serve abroad and overseas and to impact people not only in our local community, in our backyard, but on a broader scale. And so NPH is a program that was researched for, I think, a number of years in time that we felt was a great fit with the parish, and also going to a country that we felt we could serve in the Dominican Republic really checked a lot of those boxes and made sure that it was safe, but yet we could do really great, impactful work there. So,
what is the meaning of NPH?
NPH is a national organization. I think they're in 9 different countries. Okay. And it started with a priest many years ago that literally had, there was stealing from his home, and he was trying to figure out why is the food going? Why are different things going? And it was little boys that had nothing, and they were on the street. Very cool. So that was his vision to say, why don't you come in? Why don't we welcome you? Instead of you feeling as though you have to do this in fear and in the middle of the night. And that's really how NPH was born. And then it's grown through the years into all of these different countries. It's a phenomenally well-run organization. It provides the needs, everything from healthcare to daily, food, water, home to schooling, with the opportunity to either leave with a trade or go on for a further education for these kids. So it's incredibly well run.
People, it's more than food, right? It's about the dignity of the human being.
It really is.
They love it.
They do. Yeah, they do. And I think that's where they start, is really starting with the love and the needs of this human being and feeling as though you're okay, we're going to take care of you.
Very cool, very cool. Thanks for learning us that, because I have people asking me a couple of times about what is MPH.
Yes.
Now it's good. They already know because, of course, Father Walsh and you and different Johanna and different people, you mentioned that in our masses, but we still have parishioners asking.
Yes.
And I love it. Okay, tell me about the mission we are doing here at St. Pius for them, how we are contributing to MPH, how that works.
Yeah, so, it's been fantastic. So, we started out doing the Change for Change program. Actually, we started out with a small dinner of one of the students that graduated had become a dentist and now goes back to NPH and is the resident dentist and serves kids there. And we know dental care is like number one as far as the overall health of a child. Yep. So he came to Albany and had dinner with a small group of us and talked about the story of MPH and the impact and what was happening. And then the Change for Change program, and the parishioners are so gracious in giving their time and their change during Lent. And that's continued to grow and evolve. And from there, we just thought about how can we really make an impact following a trip that Gal and Father Walsh and some others did a year ago, seeing the needs with the special needs home for the children that are there. And so we started a wine and dine last year, which was a great success, a lot of fun. My first time.
Still people asking, like, when is the next time?
Well, they can link. The link is up, and they can RSVP, and we're trying to get as many RSVPs as we can, and there's opportunities to become honorary and sponsors. But and it was an incredible way to see the parish come together as a community and to be really passionate about a cause that they could make an impact in. And so we focused all of our funds on the special needs house at that time. We're going to do that event again this year. It's going to be actually even bigger. We've moved into a bigger space. I think we had over 200 guests last year. And we're going to, again, focus on the kids in special needs. And then we're looking at possibly extending that into what's called the transition home there. So there's many ways to get involved. But what I loved is that the St. Parish community came together and really showed up, had a lot of fun, but raised tremendous dollars. I think it was over $50,000 for the community in the Dominican. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Awesome. Tell me, you mentioned your trip with Father Walsh, Gail, and this other group of people. Do you have any fun memories from that trip? Like remarkable memories
from this past trip.
From this past trip.
Oh my gosh, yes.
The first trip.
So I wasn't on the first trip.
Oh, okay.
So I wasn't on the first trip, but I think that's really what inspired the second trip.
And how was the second trip?
The second trip was phenomenal. I mean, it really, you enter the gates of the community, one person, and you really leave as a very different person. And it's almost hard to articulate, but it just felt like each day you'd put your head on the pillow and think, how could it get even more better? Because today was so powerful, and it just opened up our hearts and our souls to our faith and what was happening there. And lo and behold, the next day, it was just you felt yourself just evolve even more at a deeper and more meaningful level. So, gosh, as far as memories, I think each day we all had great memories, but what stood out to me the most was the amount of joy on that in the community, on the campus. And there was always music playing, there was always happiness, and no matter where these children came from and the stories that they had, and some of them were really just remarkably trying and sad, they always looked out for each other. They were always having fun. They always wanted to dance. They wanted a hug. And it was the simple things in life. It was just, giving somebody a big hug, holding their hand, telling them a story, listening to them. But the amount of joy is what I will always remember leaving there. A funny memory, I think, just a great memory, and I think we're going to post some pictures and some video, was we went to the transition house, which is a home about an hour and a half, 45 minutes from the main campus, where kids that are in a really dire situation that have to be removed from that very quickly. Many are in danger or they've been abandoned. Many of the kids on the main campus have the similar situation. But this home is there's about 25 kids right there. And we bussed out there and we got there and the kids just came running. Some of the kids had been there 3 days. Some had been over there a year. There was a little girl there who was 12 months old. And they just were thrilled to see you. They just wanted to play. The whole group, we were with another community from Minnesota, and everybody just rolled in. We all had games and crayons and toys and things to do with them, and we just had a blast. But in the middle of the afternoon, the music turned up and the dancing started, and these little kids were teaching us how to dance, and the tias, which are the house mothers, were dancing, and the laughter and the fun, you would have thought you were at a wedding. It was just absolutely incredible.
Dominican Republic.
Yes, exactly.
That's how they are.
Although I do have to say the 8-year-old little boy who was my dance partner, I think was a little concerned. My hips couldn't quite move the way his were moving, but we had a blast.
Very nice, very nice. How many people are we helping with this program here at St. Pius? Because I know you have some data about all the things that we're doing. How many people are we impacting or helping or supporting?
Yeah, so at large, I almost look at how are we helping financially and how are we helping just being there and serving, and because I think both are equally as important. So on the in the NPH home itself, there's 130 kids that live there. And they are in homes, and they have a house mother or house father. And there's multiple homes on the campus, and there's kitchens, and they have meals there. And then there's a school there. So from the Batays, I hope I pronounced that properly, and I'd love to talk a little bit about that. There's another 400 plus kids that go to this school. So there's between 400 and 500 kids in the school system, which is on the campus during the school year. St. Pius, from the gracious donations, has really focused on the home with the kids with the special needs. It's incredible. And the care there is 24/7. They have aquatic therapy, they have speech therapy, they have obviously physical OT, swallowing. Many of the kids have cerebral palsy. And so it is remarkable how wonderful they are there. So our funds last year and this year are going to be designated to that, because just the medications and the 24/7 care to be able to keep that house going is really, it's incredible. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sadly, and I actually shouldn't say sadly, many of these kids are in the beautiful situation they are today, being surrounded by love, because they no longer could be in the situation that they left. Mm-hmm. One boy who is actually Gail's adoptive son, as they call them, Patricio, his father, he has pretty severe cerebral palsy. His father brought him to the hospital as a 3-year-old, and he never came back. Mm. And so many of these kids have been abandoned because the families just financially couldn't care for them anymore, or emotionally couldn't take care of them. And thankfully, God's serving at MPH in this community and making a difference.
Plus the country too, Dominican Republic, I know they are struggling a little bit politically and different things, and it's hard for them. It can be expensive. Families, they don't have any way to support their loved ones.
Exactly.
That's a blessing that you all went there.
It was incredible. Together. Yeah. Yeah, it really was.
To share the goodness of the Lord with them. That's a very powerful. Yeah. If you have to say one very powerful moment of your visit, which one will be?
So for me, it was, I was, the Sunday before we left, we were with family up at our camp in the Adirondacks, and I was sitting on our dock with, and I always get choked up saying this, so bear with me, but with Mimi, who I love, who's my cousin. And she said, Malone, I was at this amazing wedding of one of my best friends at Villanova. Mm-hmm. And she said her brother has become a priest, Father Jonathan. And so he was the priest for his sister's wedding. And, everybody talks about God is love. And he went on in his homily to say, God is love, but love is loving. And she said that to me on the dock. I said, oh, Memes, that's so beautiful and it's powerful. That was said to me for a reason, because every day, every moment, that just kept playing in my head of, this is God at work. This is loving, but we were loving, but in turn, we were being loved in God's Spirit and seeing our souls open in a way that I could never imagine. So that was beyond powerful for me.
That's awesome. Awesome. And okay, beautiful trip, remarkable memories. What do you like about this program? What are the most important things that you see about keep supporting MPH?
So for St. Pius, I love that that's it's part of our mission, part of our
identity.
values.
Yep.
Yeah, it's who we are. And I think being really confident in a program that we're linked up with that is run so well, that all of our dollars raised are making an impact. So there's not like, well, if I give, where's this going? We've had 2 mission trips there, hopefully a third, where we know that supporting the wine tasting or the wine and dine or the change for change is huge. I mean, you are truly making an impact with 50 cents, $50 or $5,000. So I think, that's probably the most important thing to me that I understood, but also the time, right? This is a gift for all of us to deepen our faith from pushing us out of our comfort zone and going someplace and doing something that is not in our day-to-day life. And I think that's part of our spiritual journey.
Of course.
And so being there, your faith deepens. To me, I guess I don't want to speak for other people. For me, you just listen and you hear things in a different way, and you see joy in all that's around you. It's pretty incredible. One of the parts of the program is they have a farm on the campus. And so 20% of their food comes from this farm. And the deacon is also the head farmer, and he's phenomenal. But the energy and the light around him as he was giving us this tour on the farm and talking about that was absolutely contagious. And they're starting a program where they're actually raising fish in this pool. I mean, it's and the tour and the fields were just incredible. We were eating fruit off the trees, and you could see the avocados were unbelievable.
Dominican Republic, they don't have stations, right? It's like raining or dry.
Yeah, exactly.
So the weather is perfect.
Yeah, it was amazing for this, right? It was, and so everything tastes so differently. Yeah. So I think, just seeing how people are serving there and what they're doing and how we as parishioners can go and have that experience is pretty incredible.
Very good. In the next trip, is that open to everybody or just for a group of people?
No, I mean, I think we're just in the early stages talking about it. Okay. And so some of them are coming back actually today still. And so I think we're going to be exploring it. I'm sure we'll have information at the October event.
Yeah.
So please, we hope everybody comes to that event, and we'll have things up on the website. But I think what we're doing is saying, okay, we've been on 2 missions. We've had some great fundraisers. What's next, right? So how can we learn, and how can we grow, and how can we make an impact in a different way or a greater way? But we've got an incredible group of talented people in this parish, so I have no doubt that we'll have good things to come.
Well, it will be very nice.
Yes.
I remember Father Walsh showed me one time, because he's supporting somebody there, and he showed me the letter this little younger lady sent to him, giving him an update, Father, I'm doing this, I'm learning math and doing very good with English and learning all these things. Do you receive those kind of letters too?
So I'm in the midst of adopting one child. So, but yes.
How does that work?
So and people are welcome to do that. So you reach out, and they send you children who are in need of support. And then each child, though, has multiple supporters. So which is wonderful, because the cost to be able to support that child at the level of care that they receive is pretty high. And so you have an opportunity to select if there's a child in special needs. I think right now they have a huge vacancy where they'd love more support for kids that are maybe came in their teens, are older and need that. But I can say those letters and that, and we brought gifts over from parishioners who have children that they sponsor. So that was really fun to be able to do that. So there's a way, and we can certainly put that link up there as well too.
Okay, that will be awesome.
Yeah,
I know Father Walsh and myself. One of the announcements from last month was we're collecting things to Casa Santa Ana.
Yep, Casa Santa Ana.
And this past weekend, I just have people asking me, like, Father, we don't remember what is Casa Santa Ana. Could you tell us a little bit more about what is that place? Like, what are they doing there?
Yes.
I know probably you already mentioned that. But.
Well, no, that's actually a great point because NPH is the larger global, truly global community, but Casa Santa Ana is the NPH campus in the Dominican Republic. So that's a great point.
Okay.
And then under Casa Santa Ana is the houses for the children with disabilities, and then the children who are in the transition home that's, just about an hour and a half away from the main campus. So there's three different parts to it, but they're all under the Casa Santa Ana Dominican program.
Okay. Awesome.
There's others programs in Haiti, Nicaragua, all over the world.
Yeah. If we have a parishioner who wants to be a supporter of this and a sponsor, is many ways, they can adopt children, Change for Change, Dine and Wine. Is any other way how the people can support this NPH?
I think you've named it. I mean, really, the Wine and Dine event is our focus right now.
That's our focus.
And that's truly to buy a ticket to come to the event. If you can't come to the event and you want to give a small donation, you can do that online. There's also opportunities. I know we've got a lot of wonderful businesses in the parish that could become a sponsor. And all of that information is online. There's an honorary committee. We see amazed at, people signing up to be honorary committee members already. Or just buy a ticket and come to the event and learn more. We're going to have lots of information at the event to be able to learn more about the experience. And I think some of the committee members are actually working on if you want to sponsor a child and you can select a child at the event. I'm not sure how that's working, but I know that's part of the thought process.
Oh, that's very cool. That's very cool. Yes, because we have people asking. I always send them to Johanna.
Yes. Johanna's doing a phenomenal job. Nick's doing a great job with that as well.
All of you. Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. How do you see this NPH mission? How is this impacting our community? If somebody asks you, like, Father, how this NPH mission that we're how is that impacting our community? What are you going to say to that parishioner asking?
Great question. I think in countless ways I would start, and I think it's really our opportunity to learn more about it. Again, to research and read about it. And once you start reading and learn more about the stories, and we'll be posting more on that as well, it's incredible. And so, why we're involved is, again, it goes back to our values, our mission, work, but also, we're very blessed in this community. I was thinking about when we got home, just brushing my teeth, not having to get water to brush your teeth, to be, simple things, a shower, knowing that you're safe when you go to bed at night. And so I just think, that quote, for those that much is given, much must be given in return. I think there's really an incredible opportunity for us in any shape or form. It doesn't have to be financial. Financial is certainly a quick and easy way. I would say it's really the opportunity to get to know the program, write a letter, think about maybe going on the mission. I can tell you, you will never regret having that experience.
How is this program impacting you, your own spiritual life?
Yeah, on my spiritual life?
On you. How is this impacting you in your spiritual relation with the Lord Jesus Christ?
Yeah, thank you. There's a great quote of that I was in a program that they said with awareness comes choice, and I think that with the awareness of your faith deepening, you have to make a choice. Are you going to lean in or lean out and just sort of do the routine things? And I think that the Lord has opened so many opportunities for me to deepen my faith, being a member of the St. Pius community, and so I think for me. getting to know MPH. Again, I thought this is going to be a great trip. I'm going to learn so much. I'm so happy to give. I think I received more in seeing God's work firsthand of what was happening. And, so when you think about God as love and you look at all the donors, all the givers, time, all the caregivers, that's your faith. That's God at work. And so it's a gift to be living in it. You're surrounded by it. And it's in every moment that you're there. So it's hard not to come back, deepening your faith even more. And for me, the question I always am asking myself is, what's my purpose on this earth and how am I here to serve? And so, in my business life and in my personal life, the mantra I always have is impact people's lives. And without this experience, I don't think I would have thought about impacting lives across the globe.
That's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Wonderful answer. I feel joy. I feel the joy of this mission because it's Jesus Christ doing something. And Father Walsh and myself, we always preach about love.
Yeah.
The love of Christ, how that love is manifested.
Yeah.
The reality, this mission.
Yeah, and I think sometimes, and you've
God.
said this often too, Father, in your homilies, is like, just be aware when you're being tapped.
Yeah.
Be aware when a door's being opened or you have an angel sort of like, come on, And so I think, as we sit quietly and just listen and think about how are we being tapped, how are doors being opened, with awareness comes the opportunity to lean in.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I know you have some information. You have more notes. Is something that you want to share with us?
Well, first and foremost, I wanted to recognize the group that I went with because, actually that kind of goes back to one of your questions. One of the gifts of this is getting to know our parishioners better. You see people and, they always sit in this row and they're always at this mass. And then all of a sudden you're on a bus of, 30 people scrunched in and squeezed in and going on these trips. But Sonia and Jim O'Keefe were just incredible. I feel so blessed to have gotten to spend time with them for them to be so gracious because Mike and I didn't speak Spanish. Okay. And there were a couple of times, as we were opening.
And Sonia does.
Oh, my gosh. And Jim.
Jean,
and there were a couple of times, that we were bringing bracelets to make and activities with the kids, and you kind of get swerved. And I was like, where's Sonia? I need my wingman, because she was fantastic with that. Amy and Maggie Kramer, it was just incredible. Jason Kramer is really the founder of this program. So that was incredible. Sophia Gallo, who came from Academy of the Holy Names, she actually volunteered last year and was curious about learning more. They brought so many dental supplies, awesome. Suitcases full of them over. And her cousin Enrique came from New Jersey to join her. And so it was incredible of our relationships deepening and having such appreciation of the parishioners that we wouldn't have probably gotten to know at the level that we did. Yeah. And a lot of laughs, a lot of great laughs together.
That's building a community. I'm so glad that this MPH mission is giving you that opportunity.
Yes.
It's still building the community. I think it was Thomas, one of our parishioners. He's the husband of Anne-Marie. And he told me this story that one time he was in London, he was crossing on the street, and he kept looking this guy, and this older guy is looking at him, and like they know each other, but they are like afraid to talk. Yeah. And in some point they say like, hi, who are you? And they found that they know each other because they are both members of some pious community.
Oh my gosh.
It's just they never talk.
Right.
Before.
Right.
But it's just like this kind of experience.
It brings you together.
Like building a community.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I would say one other part. So there was some amazing kids from Notre Dame there, and they were pre-med and working in the practice. There was another great group there from Minnesota that are in it's a franchise of a preschool that is a Spanish immersion, so they only speak Spanish there. So a woman was there from Venezuela who works in the school. And so you would just sit and have meals together. And everybody would sort of, sit at different tables and get to know each other and meet more and more people. So, and the part of the MPH community, obviously. So you just had time around meals to get to know each other. And on our bus, I said we looked like the clowns when we get off this bus, because it was like you thought the bus fit 12 and 30 of us would get off, so it was great. You really had an opportunity to get to know a lot of people.
Very nice, very nice. Any more information that you want to share with us?
No, I would just say, people ask of where is Casa Santa Ana, and it's about 40 miles out of the capital, which is Santo Domingo, which we visited one day, which was fantastic.
Yeah.
I would say Casa San Marcos is the disability house. So, that house again, and when we put up photos and video, you'll see that's 24/7 care, and the care is remarkable at throughout the program, but for the children with disabilities. And it was really Father Wasson who started the program back in 1953. Okay. And so you think about a moment that he had, and this vision of the impact that, I don't know if he even realized the impact that he was going to make in all of these years later. So
probably no.
No. I mean, it just keeps growing and growing, and to me, that means there's more needs and more work to be done.
That's beautiful. I just would like to say something, that the capital of Dominican Republic is Santo Domingo.
Yeah.
There is Saint Dominic.
Yeah.
And the reason is because the Dominicans, the religious order, they are all over there, and they help that country to create their constitution, and they are very remarkable.
So such history.
Yeah. That's why they keep that name for the capital.
Yeah.
Okay.
One thing I would say, though, going to the capital, is that MPH did a great job with, our first and foremost focus is spending as much time as we can with the kids, but they also did a great job so that you learn about the Dominican Republic. And so you do, go in and you see, is it the oldest cathedral in the world? Do I have that correct? In the Americas.
Probably not,
in the
but
Americas. In the Americas, yes, in the Americas. And so you're seeing all of the nature and different things that are there, these waterfalls and these caves and, the city. So you're learning about the culture and the community at the same time. One other part of the trip that we did that I think was, to me, just eye-opening, was we went to visit, you're going to have to help me, Father Bate.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. Which is in the sugarcane fields, and right outside the doors of, the campus. And so many of the kids come from these communities that are no power, no water. A shack is, I think, a grandiose way of describing what they're living in. Many Haitians that are there working in the fields. I think they said that maybe they get $4 to $5 a day. Yeah. I just kept thinking, we went home, we went to bed that night, and it rained so heavy, and I thought, what are they doing? How are they living? And so to go out, really we were in these open bed trucks, and the kids are just running alongside. And when we got there, again, the smiling, the laughter, they just would come up and want, can I hold your hand and walk? And will you hug me? And touching them, and especially the kids with special needs, is just rubbing their arms, touching them. So to see the Bate, MPH did a great job. I mean, it's hard. I mean, it rocks you to think that this is a situation that many kids and families are living in. But then you come back and you again have an appreciation of what MPH is doing. More importantly, or just as importantly, you have appreciation of what St. Pius is doing in this community.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And I always like to appreciate those kind of details when you move out of the U.S., because here, this is a wonderful country, and, thanks to God, here we have everything we need.
We do.
But we are so blessed, but it's other places around the globe that they definitely have the minimum to survive.
It's a good wake-up call.
Yeah.
You know, we're always like, go, go, go. I'm so busy. And where are we going to go to dinner? And, you know, I don't have what I want. And the kids are saying, there's no food in the house. I don't want, there's no food in the house there. Like that's seriously no food. And so I think that it's a really good wake-up call. I know that Sophia, she's the most amazing young woman at Holy Names. And to watch her grow in this experience and the connection with the kids, that they looked at her as she's our age. I would have loved to have done that for our kids at that time, because I think it, one, plays a big part in their faith, and their identity, and giving back is, you're developing their souls at that age. So for me, I was like, oh, I wish I had this experience earlier to have done this with my kids.
That's very nice. Thanks for sharing all of this about MPH. I'm sure we're going to invite Keith and to know more about other view of this mission. That is, of course, a beautiful view, because all of you have a unique experiences. Yeah. We always end this podcast asking the guest, if Jesus Christ show up here today to you, physically here, what you will say to him? If Jesus show up here,
I would just say, thank you for giving me the gift of my faith, and really thank you for giving me the gift of staying at it. Like, keep trying, growing, developing. We're far from perfect, but there's just this constant pull that I feel blessed that I've had the opportunity to work on myself and my faith, and that I just feel that calling so deep in my soul to keep going.
Okay, that's awesome. We have Chain for Change, Dine and Wine coming up. Everybody just make sure to put your name, sign up, check the website for more information.
RSVP,
get it done. We need you there. We need you to support this beautiful, beautiful mission. And could you give us a last message for the parishioners at St. Pius?
Well, thank you, first of all, because there's been many parishioners who have been so gracious with their time and their energy. The committee, I need to give a huge shout out to Suzanne David, the co-chair for the committee, and all of the committee members who are working tirelessly on making this a fantastic event. So for people considering coming, please come, because it's going to be fantastic. And I would say get involved. There's so many ways at St. Pius to give back and get involved. And it's really a gift. I mean, your faith grows by getting involved and getting to know the parishioners and taking part in any of the ways that you can be part of the service programs here.
Okay, awesome. That's very good. Last question. When you come to us, where do you sit? Stafford side, chapel side, main, which one? Where?
So, center aisle, right hand. Okay. I like to be up towards the front. Depends on if we get there early enough.
Very good. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for doing this program. It's fantastic.
I love it.
I feel grateful to get to know you better.
Oh my gosh. Thanks for being here. Thanks to say yes to this mission. Thanks to help other people to understand the love of Jesus Christ. Because at the end, that's what we do here at St. Pius. That's Father Walsh, the pastor, myself as an associate pastor, and Deacon Mary. The focus is to help people to understand that love says so much.
It does.
And he is always there for us. It's a love that is always at hand. It's a loving all the time.
Yes, exactly. Love is loving. And I think this parish, you feel it. You feel the love in this parish. And I think that there's a lot of loving here, and God's Spirit is here. And thank you for all the work that you do, and for Father Walsh to help us grow in our faith.
The pastor, the best.
Yeah.
And I can feel it. I can feel the Holy Spirit in our celebrations. Sometimes I'm tired. because we're doing many things, and I have to go there and do the mass. As soon as I'm there in front of the people, I can feel the Holy Spirit like coming and go ahead and giving us all that we need.
He's
to
there.
Connect with Jesus Christ.
That's for sure.
This is about being anchored with Jesus Christ the Lord. But thank you so much.
Thank you
for
so much,
everything.
Father Daniel. This has been fantastic.
And I'm sure we will hear more about you and all this beautiful trip in the coming months.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody, for watching this podcast, for listening to this podcast. God bless you all. And remember, as I always said, this is not about perfection. We are a community of faith who is looking for Jesus Christ the Lord, who is always with us. God bless you all. Ciao, ciao, and thanks.
Thank you.